touch, your breath, I can feel it on my skin. Baby, I don't think I can move on like you did. Your touch, your breath, I can feel it on my skin. Baby, I don't think I can move on like you did. 'Cause every time I touch, every time I kiss, every time I breathe, every time I sleep, every time I touch, every time I kiss, every time I breathe, every time I sleep, I just feel like the same. 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 I just feel like your lips, your kiss, I can feel them on my lips. Baby, I don't think I can move on like you did. Your lips, your kiss, I can feel them on my lips. Baby, I don't think I can move on like you did. 'Cause every time I touch, every time I kiss, every time I breathe, every time I sleep, every time I touch, every time I kiss, every time I breathe, every time I sleep, I just feel like the same. I just feel like the same. I just feel like, just feel like, I just feel like the same. I just feel like the same. I just feel like the same. I just feel like. I just feel like the same. I just feel like the same. I just feel like.
Baby, why we have a special? Our heartbeats fall one another. Our minds connect, our souls reflect. We were made for each other. We were made for each other. We were made for each other. Our minds connect, our souls reflect. We were made for each other.
I just feel like the same. I just feel like the same.
We were made for each other. We were made for each other. Our minds connect, our souls reflect. We were made for each other.
floors off St. Clair. I'm stuck at a red light, waiting a 6 Mile in Delaware. The sound of a distant firebird, the echo of a rhyme, smoke his words, and absence, sweet absence, fills the freezing air. I'm on the wayside for years now, but no one seems to care. Their eyes on a distant horizon, I drove them out of here. Gave you the American dream and the music for your movie scene, but you left me bleeding. So listen to my prayer. You can break my heart and crush my dreams, but you can never take my soul. You can crack my stones and melt my steel, but you can never take my soul. You can break my heart and crush my dreams, but you can never take my soul. You can crack my stones and melt my steel, but you can never take my soul. You can never take my soul. You can never take my soul. You can break my heart and crush my dreams, but you can never take my soul. You can crack my stones and melt my steel, but you can never take my soul. You can break my heart and crush my dreams, but you can never take my soul. You can crack my stones and melt my steel, but you can never take my soul.
seem to let it eat me up. You influence my frame of mind. My heart is stuck in a loop of your rhythm and rhyme. I try to replace you with something new, but my body drives heartbreak along the ground. Dancing about the idea of you, whilst you decide if I belong to lost and found. You know I'm dying to reach out to you. I'm trying but you can't see. You say my calls never come through. Why can't you just hear me? I'm crying 'cause I can't feel you. My heart's sinking to my feet. I'm lying 'cause I can't touch you. Why can't you just hear me?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream of HTD versus Cult, or Hated versus Cult. We are playing on St. Mariglis, and after a delay of the match start by 1 hour, we are back, and we will welcome you kindly to this event. Hated is playing on the side of the Germans, which we see here in the left of the screen, and Cult is playing on the side of the Allies, so here in the screen on the right. We will quickly have a look inside the strat sketch about on the points, and then we will go have a small look at them in game before the game starts at 8 o'clock, which will be very soon, so we will speed up. And to our Russian friends joining the stream from Cult, Dami и господа, добро пожалуйста на стрим. Exactly. Well, then quickly we will see Hospice is about even the point. We will have battles around the compounds on the bottom and battles around the top, around the pizza triangle, as we like to call it, for control. But also in the hard cap there is a house which you need to control to hold this point. And then behind that there is this cemetery or whatever it is. In the middle, I think the point Hospice is about even with the time of arrival of the teams, so which will be very interesting will be artillery and tanks, what they do and how they do it. In St. Mariglis, the Cult will be a little quicker as the spawn point is more towards their side, so they will quicker reach the church, which is the key point there, to hold and control this point, because the rest of the point is rather open. And there also tanks can very easily hold it in company of infantry. There we will see mainly the fight around the top of the point will be interesting to us, because the rest on the bottom can be quite easily controlled. Okay. Exactly. Then a checkpoint in the middle below. Also both teams can reach it as fast. I think there it's mainly about the trench fight and how it ends, who can create more pressure on the map and control more. There are also some key areas around it to have some control of it, which are mainly the ones above checkpoint, but also the trenches that lead towards it, which need to be controlled, and then you can attack from the fields as well, where you can hide your spawn points. But these ones you can rather easily, let's say, farm if you're standing high enough. So let's see. Inside the game, we also received a link for stats for you stat nerds. If you're interested in that, we'll be looking at that in the end. And until the map starts, we will view some of the points here. As we have hospice here, which we talked about before. We have the compounds here where you can very strongly have some close combat fights from the infantry. We have the main roads and the more open areas where tank can be very, very active. And we see there in the middle of our screen the house, which can be controlled for the main control of the hard cap and the surroundings. And here we have the pizza triangle, which is for sure one of the more interesting fights that we will have up here. Tanks will be pushing in and whatever else. But now we will go towards the church. We will have another look at it from our admin cam view. The church itself has also the compounds which we are seeing in our screen here that are for sure a strong line of attack towards the hard cap. As for routes, we see here on the other side the field is more open, there is more distance to be covered towards the church where most of the main force of the enemy will be hiding and shooting from. So it's rather, I say rather easy to defend it, as you can shoot at it from several sides and prevent the enemy from pushing through. Then here in the middle we have another option to push through the trees and whatever. But still there mainly you will see people sniping from the house, not more. Exactly. And let's fly to the bottom, where we have the last point, which might be thought about. Also rather interesting, you have a few houses where the infantry can hide inside. Otherwise we have rather more open areas covered with some vegetables. Vegetation, I mean. Although there might grow some vegetables too. And we will start a vote as well in the chat while the match starts. We will do a prediction on who will win. Who wins? Hated or cult. And there you can vote on the point with your points on who is your favorite to win. And we hope we will have a lot of action there. So we are changing, and it is Hated versus Cult on St. Mary's. I think both teams might pull off some nice things. But for now, we are curious how HTD will build in their artillery, because so far they've done a bang up job on that. And as we're loading in, we will find the squad we have to join. And we see some people on the wrong side. I'm sure that will be fixed. And we have to join George as a rifleman. Spawn on the opposite side. And find ourselves a streamer bush. And let's fucking go! Welcome in the chat. Punk. And thank you very much for the follow, Lonkis. And we are in the admin camera. We will make so we see everybody, and then we turn everything off. And let's find out how Hated builds in their nice artillery pieces. We see many supplies being dropped. We see many barricades going up around their artillery. There's no way for the enemy sniper teams to reach the artillery. Like it looks. And we will see what's going up. Here we see the people redeploying. We see Fake, our friend, shout out to you, my man. Joining in as a sniper, running forwards, and yeah, let's have a small look on these defenses. There we have a lot of things, and we have 3 artilleries that are covered. Let's have a look on the map. We were asked to look at the tanks, but they will go far around on the top. We have Fiery Check as a tank, we have AP, and we have Gaming whatever, who is further up, and we're starting at checkpoint. And the tank there with Sentino, the medium, will push towards checkpoint with the trucks, and we will look at these ones because we want to see the gory action around the capture. While we will have a lookout on what's happening with the rest. If the tank takes a rather indirect route further around the point, while the trucks are way further ahead, moving in towards checkpoint. And let's see how the first artillery shells will be hitting. They're coming down. First people are leaving the trucks already. On the enemy side, the trucks are coming in as well towards checkpoint. They are a little quicker than the trucks on the side from Hated, which will give them a slight advantage. On the top we see also a tank coming in, and we're seeing a capture around the point. Hated is spreading out a little further, while Cult puts focus towards the checkpoint. And there the truck from Cult is on deploying as Mareciano from SQCC. Just gets killed, unfortunately. And there the first artillery pieces are coming in. Cult with a widespread, taking main control over checkpoint, and we will have a quick look on the map where the tanks are. They're sneaking around all the way in the back. And we have the tank with Sentino the medium coming up slowly towards checkpoint. While we have artillery pieces, shells exploding all around. And Cult already starting to slowly push out, although Hated is more present in the center, I think. Oh, it's not. So the squad with Rapunzel is slowly pushing forward. Although not early enough. And I should watch the Andros guys, he carpets the enemy. We will see who that is. I think he's the artillery in the one of the teams. Yeah, as we see, Hated flanking around on the top and on the bottom, holding a front line, putting their focus in a direct push towards checkpoint. But look at that artillery hitting and taking out quite a lot of people. What a nice thing. Let's have a look on the tanks flanking all the way around. The recon tank already blew up. We have the medium tank and the anti-tank gun on the outside. We have here Mr. Endgegner and Hassan here, which have their anti-tank gun directed towards the tank, but so far these tanks not the most effective, as the infantry is clashing in the middle and the medium is now pushing forward. Will he fall towards the anti-tank gun? Will the guys react quickly enough? We will find out. I think he shouldn't be seen yet. He's putting shots into the medium already. The medium returned fire. And this second shot of the Sherman tank missed the medium or didn't penetrate it. As it's pushing forward, the anti-tank gun is being occupied again. As the medium is pushing forward, and they're first of all repairing their tank with a full-out defense play. As HTD is pushing in through the meat grind with Yuki up front. Currently walking into the artillery fire. As the tanks are fighting again. And yeah, we will have a quick look on the map. The anti-tank gun has Mr. Endgegner running in front to ping the tank, while Last Hair in the back is trying to shoot through the bushes. But we will have it in the corner of our eye. As we have a quick look towards the map. HTD has their outposts here, has some garrisons. In the defense they have the commander on the garrison. All their people are up front to capture this point, so they're giving here a rather huge focus on the middle point to recapture. As Mr. Endgegner made his way up towards the medium tank. Yeah, and let's have a look on the map. We have a red zone garrison that was established in the back. We have now Luchs that came in through the back but got deleted by a tank here in the back, the Stuart from Colt. With, what's his name? Big Bang! What an amazing name. And welcome in the chat series. Thank you for letting me stream this match. And yeah, let's hang out a bit in the top view as the Sherman takes out the Panzer IV with Santino inside. Sich from VTH in the tank there, doing his job, but Mr. Endgegner hasn't had enough of that tank. He will chase it to the end. Yeah, and Cemetery currently is being pushed from a front line and from the back with two squad leads sneaking in there, Smoker and Hydrantenwille. Colt has some people in the defense alerting them on what's happening with some light tanks cruising around. But as we see, HTD still didn't get rid of all the people in the hard cap. They have a rather widespread flank, just pushing out the soft cap. With the tanks of Colt still being up there. Yeah, and let's go find Ramses, who's pushing up there towards the next point with his squad, taking out an OP. And doing some flanking in the defense though. Not trying to push towards forward, clearing the soft cap, getting control there. Yeah. So far, not looking too bad for HTD, who managed to push out the soft cap. I guess rather successful. There is some people counter pushing. We have a garrison being marked. And we have the first people from HTD coming in from the back towards Cemetery. As well as some squads pushing from the front, but as we see, as they are not present in the defense anymore through the city, they're moving in some people from squads from Colt. And let's go to Silvomince. Silvomince coming in towards the hard cap. Can he make the play? He takes out an OP, but look at me from Colt. Takes him out. And there we have it, a bomber on both sides. The offensive bomber going through the center of cemetery, not taking out really a lot. The offensive bomber from Colt also not too effective. Not taking out too many enemies. At the time, the front line is further ahead. And we have Smoker as a squad lead coming in from the back. With a another medium tank, also still the WTO TH tank. Aiding the infantry there in the fight against the other things. Let's have a quick look on the map. We have one offensive garrison, one red zone garrison. We have some OPs up, but more far around checkpoint. We have a tank that just blew up in the back. And we have another medium moving up. So no heavy tanks so far. Ah yes, we have one. There we have a Tiger in the middle with AP and Stargamer. Coming up in the defense towards cemetery. As they will have contact soon with the medium tank. Let's highlight the team play between the infantry and this tank and see how they are doing together. Matos certainly will hear the medium tank. The Tiger is moving in this direction. Frontally behind the cover of the bushes. Matos definitely will have found the medium tank by now. Question is the Tiger quick enough to connect or not? As we have Colt pushing here through the town. But let's focus on that little tank battle here. As a tank shot, its position should be likely known. Let's see what happens. Blueprint for an anti-tank gun was built, but the Tiger now is peeking out and should be easily able to destroy this tank any second now. No? There it goes. There's the shot and AP takes out the medium tank. As the anti-tank gun was built here, but the Tiger was quicker. And this means Matos has a free run up towards cemetery with his squad and can push further there through the support of his tank. Very nice. Let's look at the defense here. Ooh, another tank battle. Let's see. Ooh, that tank's burning though. They took out the Greyhound in their defensive move. And are now driving towards their infantry. Colt with a huge offensive maneuver through the town. That's like a lot of people as the Panzer IV is reversing away and defending itself as strong as possible as it's receiving shots from anti-tanks also in the front. Where it's not going on. Exactly. And Colt here being counter-pushed by Easy Ride and the people from SGC, Swiss Gaming Clan. And thank you very much for your follow, Chopsumi123. And the defense is looking rather stable. Colt is being pushed back as we're going towards the offensive maneuver. where we have Yuki again near the hard cap. And thank you very much for your abonnement, Pommy. Welcome back in the subscribers club. And hi, Red Bull. And let's watch Cliff and Zuckerschock. Zuckerschock going down to the Cliff, throwing in some nades. A little too far. But not too shabby. And one of them hits its target, taking out the squad lead. There we have another. And let's make some sound for Cliff, who's just taken out but traded by Baumi. And there we have it. Hated slowly pushing in towards the hardpoint. Bratniko defending with his machine gun. Or the bar, we don't know. But Zuckerschock takes him out. And with that, Hated is making cap progress. And there we have it. Hated surrounding the point, gradually pushing in. And we have some drop. There we have an airhead coming in for Hated to bring in more people towards the cab as the defensive spawn of Colt is coming in. Unfortunately, Punkt, we do not have first person views in this match. We might get some in the next few streams, as we will have more time to prepare and organize it. So far we will get to see what we have here. As the Tiger is blown up by a magic enemy from the back. I have no clue what killed this Tiger. But I think here we have the culprit. The WH tank we have here. And thank you, Red Champ, for responding. And the tanks of Colt are moving in. The airhead spawn of Hated is coming into Cemetery to create more pressure. The tank there defending is surrounded by anti-tanks, as it's only a Stuart. Any rockets it will take will damage it and eventually destroy it, as long as it can't be repaired. So that's on Hated to create this push, add this pressure, as we have Rainer Zufall and Rattenwilli pushing against the main force of Colt. Also through the cemetery there is a lot of smoke inside, which they use to come into the hard cap. Pushing in. And there we have a tank gradually driving through the enemy lines. What a baller move of Cosmo. Just having a quick stroll through the enemy lines. And here the combined effort of Colt and their tanks is holding off the enemy rather strongly. Let's see where the tanks from Hated are. They are currently further back spawning. They have been taken out. So at the moment Colt has the strong point in the tanks. They're a missing Red Bull on the side of Hated. He's a nice tank commander. Shout out to you, Red Bull. I know you're watching. And we see Cliff taking out the 67 heavy with a rocket to the butt. Cliff with a nice play. Let's go, Cliff. Yeah, but the cap progress from Hated was stopped by the ground defensive maneuver from Colt. With all these people coming in there. We hope to see some artillery aiding this attack. I guess that's missing here. To close it up. As we see Cliff here running to in a direction where there are multiple enemies. And he finds the garrison. Can Cliff take the garrison out without being killed? Let's see, he's lying on the floor. He took out Brat. Can he take out Die before? And he drags out the garrison in the defensive. Which is a good offensive play, which allows Hated to start capping again with their people, although there are not this many there anymore. And we see a bombing run coming in, adding to the pressure, probably taking out this tank, or one of them, taking out a lot of enemies. And this shortly providing Hated with more pressure. In the hard cap. And let's have a quick look at Banjo Bo as he's receiving some love in the chat. Pushing forward. Together with Rainer Zufall. But being ganked in the back by Kenneth, who's wielding his machine gun Rambo style. Taking out 3 in the process. What a legend. And make it 4. What an absolute fucking legend. And 5. 5 taken out. Hated, pushing into the hard cap hard. Releasing some pressure in the back. There is nobody. All the forces are at cemetery to put focus there and capture it. Which is a nice tactical move by Hated. Yes, it can be a gamble, but if you pull it off, if you know you can do it, if you have trust in the team, we see it succeed. And we see Hated taking cemetery and making the game 4-1 for Hated against Colt. Let's see if we already have some progress going on further ahead. No, we do not. We have HTD T Gaming in the back occupying the artillery. And the rest of the squads are around cemetery. Still defending. They still need to, because these squads, they didn't give up yet. They're not gone all the way. As we have Bratniko hiding in the bushes and Mr. Jingles coming in from the back with Dipsy. Pushing towards the hard cap again. And we see a medic. Pony kill. Rescuing Maximin from Colt, who takes out Banjo Bo. But Lord Jax comes in from the back. Maximin didn't realize Lord Jax was there, he gets taken out as well. Yeah, people. Listen to gunshots and steps. But Colt currently recapturing with a few people towards the hard cap. Let's quickly defend it again. As we see the front line from Hated pushing forwards. Let's have another look at the map with the tanks coming in from the back. With Fiery Jack with the 76, Sentino with the Recon tank. And the medium tank with AP. And there we have another bombing run. This time for the offense of Colt. Although this bombing run only hit one person. The main force of Hated has already moved on towards clearing the soft cap. The timing of this bombing run could have waited a little more until there was more pressure and better information about the enemy. So if what was available, probably it wasn't enough. Yeah, and we have another tank battle coming up with the medium tank, which is without their squad leader, but they already see the tank through the bushes, glittering. And there we have Stargamer and his friends trading shots with the medium tank of Sich, which is receiving rockets as well, and already connected one shot on the medium tank. Also managed to connect one to Panzer IV, and now they're pushing up. As they traded shots and decided to take some cover. As it randomly runs across the field in front of the tank. What a baller move. And there we have rockets to the front, just to remember that they're there. You can penetrate the medium frontally if you hit it flat into the front, as we have Czechs sniping but bouncing, unfortunately, from far away. What a nice shot. There we have some extra supplies. Yeah, this medium is receiving some rockets, I'm telling you. I wouldn't like being this tank commander there, receiving this many rockets. And so we have the Puma. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That will be an unhappy Puma for sure, if he drives further. Now this we got to watch. Oh no! Well, there you have your tank highlight. Puma not flanking enough, far enough behind to drive into the back of the medium tank, stopping in the weeds, not seeing the enemy tank itself, as you have rather low visibility. The medium taking it out. Let's have a quick look on the map to see what's going on. And we have the heavier tanks from HTD moving in the back. We have a rather widespread front line that's curving. We have an additional flank that's going on here with King, Eichenbauer and Ziergeli, which will be pushing towards the last point, where they will add some extra pressure. Thank you, Nico, for your offering. So far, everything is fine. Let's see Cliff taking on a tank frontally. As Cliff is taking out Barilax. As we have some rockets being fired there. And there we have a tank coming in. We have smoke from the artillery being deployed on the tank as the Tiger's moving up. Oh, that could get interesting. What a pop moment. And that Tiger gets blasted from the 76 heavy tank in the defense. Nothing else can create such an explosion than Cosmo in his tank, sniping an absolutely legendary shots through the bushes. And he has markers that are being shot towards the enemy. As we have Cliff pushing through the smoke to the wheat field. Well, let's go to this flank here. Here we have Relax hiding in the corner, peeking against shotgun Schorsch. I have no clue. And for you guys that love stats, we will have a quick look for sure. That should be interesting. Let's switch. There we have the top killer so far is Xak with 40 kills, Dipsy with 26, Alexei with 25, Kanets with 24, Mr. Bauchspetz with 23, and Jax with 20. And back to the game. As we start seeing some pressure in the back. We see there 2 squads are pushing in through the wheat field on the top where you can hide your outposts rather nicely. You really have to come through this wheat field nicely to put pressure on. But we also have the other point contested. And with Eichenbauer moving in slowly towards the hardcap of Hofso de Fremme. Could get interesting towards this point as well, but let's see what's going on in Cemetery. There we have the members of Cult who snuck in through the top, capping back. And there we now need to see a defensive reaction from Hated. We have 1 squad spawning in, coming in with a tank. As they're already in a crossfire, I don't see it being enough for the defense. The garrison is still up though. So we have 1 defensive spawn that's still left. That can defend this cap for sure. If the spawn gets up. But the tank driving by the garrison. And Amaranti, or whatever his name is. I think it's alright. Takes out the garrison. And we only have this 1 squad from the top pushing in. The other garrisons are further away. Squad leads did react though early enough. So we have them moving in from around the cemetery to defend it. Which they are doing currently by sheer force. As there were only about 2 squads from Cult inside the strong point. And with a quick reaction, the pressure is more or less back as Balmy from Hated is taking out 1 of the squad leads there. We will see if he can drop another. The shots were set and we are receiving artillery fire on cemetery. The inside. No effect so far. Let's see, Ramses in the defense being taken out by Mordovado. And Colt putting on the pressure still. There we have some more supplies that are being dropped. We have some tanks in the defense. Let's look at the map what's going on. Hated managed to keep the pressure up around the last point. As they're still defending with reinforce there. So their defensive moves was slightly reduced. There's another big spawn coming in from Cult. I wonder if they dropped an airhead that we missed. Could be. That will push in towards the hard cap. They started capping again. Now Cult surrounding the hard cap. Nicely, with a more stable approach on the attack. As we see, we have this garrison here that's left for defense, which is under heavy attack by the squads of Cult. We have another spawn there with some people, but Morisato of Cult is on the flank. There's also the tank that probably just received a satchel from Shadow. We are not sure. We will keep an eye on it. As there's another Lux coming in for the defense. And we spawn at the garrison, which might be able to push and defend, but for Cult it's looking rather stable at the moment. I think there should be no satchel at the Panzer IV, though it looked like he received one. The Panzer IV is going all in to defend the point, shooting inside. There is artillery. Hated slowly takes out more members inside the hard cap and is moving in with their members. They managed to clear the area, which was absolutely plastered with members from Cult. Asalux is now moving into the cemetery. And Hated is now defending their point on cemetery. There's another spawn wave coming though from Cult. They set up some sneaky OPs for sure, but they're not being pushed out there either, because the focus is on the hard cap currently to defend. What nice moves from both teams. Good reactions on both sides. With 51 minutes on the clock, still both teams can have the game in the hand. As we see, Hated pushing in with the commander that's also in the defensive and being active there. Is recommendable. I prefer commanders that do that. So that's one more member on the battlefield doing active tactics. And there we have another bombing run from Colt. This time taking out a few defenders. But Hated is in the stronger force in the defense and will hold this point for the moment. Cold will move in a little stronger. I think their tanks currently are missing the tanks from Hated. Dominate a little bit more currently as it's looking, or their tanks were busy in the defense. As we see this medium here driving back. And receiving a massive blow from a Tiger tank that snuck its way behind. With Santino. A little Tiger here. Rather alone, but as he's mobile and keeps his move on, not a problem so far. Yes, let's have a small look at the map and see what's going on. Some of the OPs in the back have been weeded out by Colt. They had to be moved into the defense because Colt had a stable offense from the point where Hated squads are swarming now. I'd say currently it looks like there was a big reaction before, for sure, and they will reorganize shortly after that. But I think we should have a look at the artillery in the back for once. I want to see if there's any snipers trying to get towards the artillery. There are, but let's see. What can Viking from Colt do? He's stuck. Gets killed as well. There's also a Puma in the defense. Now that's just dirty tactics, you know. Esquin takes out the OP from the spotter, which makes so-called retreat with no chance to reach the artillery and set a new OP. What a nice defense, what a nice setup. Let's go back to the front. We have a quick look on the map. We have another front line forming with the Tiger tank that just has been taken out. We have Colt sneaking in behind again. As well, they used the opening to put a squadlet through. To start the new flank, to push towards the cemetery. Now the question is, will this flank here push on to Rousseau de Freur? Or do they decide to defend first? I think both options are there, as Hertmeister is laying down some MG fire. And we have one sneaky member of Colt hiding in a bush. As we have here a fiery check with Orlik. And another medium tank rolling up inside the defense. Let's check out some of the plays. Let's see. Let's check out these looks for a moment. With fiery check. Pushing into the enemy line, which is receiving artillery fire from the very back. And fiery check there, just retreating. Okay. Then let's go to the front with the Tiger, which is battling another tank. Through the bushes as well, with Bauchspeck repairing on the top. And we have a 76 that's shooting through bushes with Sitch. Their positions are mirrored. Sitch has a bigger reaction with everybody stepping out of the tank. With a Panzer IV that pulled up as well to aid in this battle. As they repair their tank as quick as they can, even with fourth element of the engineer coming in to repair from the I-14. And there we have some smoke. And the Stuart flanking. Although not in high speeds. So their task is not to take out the tanks currently, but to hold off the infantry. As the tank from WTH is side scraping, they pulled out. They should be able to spot the tank very soon as it's pushing through the smoke. Tiger receiving the first shot, missing. And that was it for the Tiger without a scratch. Sitch takes out the Tiger. Does he know that there is a Panzer IV that's flanking him? We will figure it out shortly. With the Stuart aiding him, they should find out very soon. As Turbo Jürgen is moving in. And flanking. And the Stuart might be in jeopardy soon if the Panzer IV is moving on, as we see the infantry pushing more towards Rousseau-de-Fermat. But now we have the 76 reacting to the threat, reversing. They know something is there. As the squad lead of the Panzer IV was taken out. With the Stuart pushing on. And retrieving. Let's go, Pancho Baghdad. Cool, what an amazing legend you are. And we have the 76 pushing the Panzer IV, knowing exactly where it is. It was marked. And there goes the Panzer IV as well. With Sitch from WTH taking out 2 tanks in a row. Without a scratch. After repairing though. What a legend. Let's have a look onto the offense. Quick look into the defense of Cemetery as Colt is camping slowly. To Orlik sitting in the hard cap still. In this point. Look at that. He's just fucking patient. Sitting there, chilling out. As we will have a look towards the last point, where we have Blizzard from the SKC. Pushing forward, taking out Bratniko. Taking control of the airplane. But hey, this one member inside the hard cap in defense makes for some nice pressure. Not more people are there currently. And Blizzard has now reached the hard cap. His squad will shortly follow for sure. With easy right, not too far away from the hard cap as well. Called counter pushing. And yeah, the enemy tanks pushing out the defense on the other side. As we have a Greyhound in the back looking for Flauschi in the bush. Ooh, that was a close one. Big Bang and Diarra ashore. Und Ayaya. Don't get so crazy names. Good job. I like them. Full tank. Yeah, and we have here Skakstelze also pushing in. Could manage to take out the guys inside the hard cap. With a tank coming in for the defense. As well, guns blazing. With the defensive reaction. Let's have a look around cemetery. And see what Colt can do here. With a short view of the map to see what's going on. We have only one offensive garrison. Not too many defensive garrisons. Like 4 in the top area, none in the bottom area. There could be some more. For sure. Also for the offense. As we have squadlets there flanking, as we see a satchel blowing up in front of us. Yeah, and Kult here is gradually being taken out. Look at me. Next candidate on the hit list, maybe, of Raxias. With the hip fire, managed just to get the enemy. Was surprised, so he had a hard time hitting. But what a nice play. Yeah, and with that, they managed to push out. Only Orlik is still sitting inside the hard cap. We have an enemy airhead coming down. But this airhead was spotted. Oh, what a pock bomber! Taking out the Puma as Turbo Jürgen. Guys, throws a grenade at the airhead to take it out. And so far, taking out the offense of Colt. What a nice bomber of the commander, taking out a Puma of all tanks. Yeah, let's see what Fake can do, or is doing here against the artillery. Small view to this minigame. So far he is succeeding, as the artillery of Colt is not as built in and fortified as the one of Hated. That's why there's nobody sitting on it and shooting. Although this point is harder to control, of course. Still manageable though. with a good enough effort. And let's have a look towards the offense here. Now that's dirty. We have Eicherchen on the flank, just creating gunfire noises to add misinformation. The tank in the defense received some shots, but with the tanks defending, they take out rather a few members there of HTD in the offense and managed to keep their cool. Colt somehow snuck in again. Another anti-tank hiding in the hard, near the hard cap. Oh, not hiding though. Cloud plane on the wall. I guess looking for spawn points, but they're not in cemetery, they're only around it. And Rafa paid attention to the red garrison taking out one of the attackers. You know, it's crazy how Orlik in his bush manages to keep rather a few people around the hard cap active. Which does two things though. It keeps them back there, takes them away from the offense from HTD, but also keeps people around the hard cap to spot approaching attackers. So you can say it's good and bad. I guess rather good. This keeps rather a few people occupied. And we see HTD there with Ziegeli from the SGC. Pushing in from the back. What's it called? With a rather widespread flank, pushing in slowly with two squad leads to create some extra pressure. And we see Pfannkuchen with his machine gun taking out Tuba so far. What a machine gunner. Smokers all there. That's a fortress, I'm for sure. Smoker taken out yet another. And Orlik was taken out by Rainer Zufall or somebody. Took long enough for sure. What a mallet. And there we see the two machine guns just stopping the progress from Colt with Rava. And there we have the first smokes preventing that. Very nice reaction. It's nice. Let's have a look towards the offense. Where we have Ramses with his truck taking out Benzo, but does he know there are more? Joseph and Karitus as an anti-tank. Will he have a rocket from him? Ooh, and Ramses gets taken out in his defensive maneuver by Joseph from Colt. There we have a Tiger tank coming in on the top to push with the squad there that's waiting for him. We have just the front line near the hard cap closing in towards the point, and we will look what the Tiger tank with Santino can do there. It's the enemy. Let's have a quick look on the map. We have Cemetery that's getting kept now again. We have now two offensive garrisons. And in the defense it's looking rather stable with garrisons as well. So I think garrison limit might be even maxed out. We will have a quick look at the cemetery where the squad leads of Colt managed to claw their way inside. And we will follow Black Jedi inside the hard cap. Having a shootout with Marciano. however you pronounce it. Crawling forward slowly. Both caps contested currently. Ooh, Kelt. Kelt snuck in behind the back. Somewhere. We don't know how. Into the hard cap. Can he place an OP and get his guys there to defend it with their lives? Let's find out. Rapunzel takes him out. Denies that. And we have kept progress up front at Rousseau. Tated with the meat grind finally managed their way inside. Now we need to see a huge reaction from Colt to defend that. They're taking their positions in the hard cap to control the entrances of the point. We have Jax attacking the tank there, giving it another shot into the side. As Mr. Endgegner is approaching from the back. What's Jax doing? Cosmo with the plays. And we have Kenneth that made his way into the hard cap. Took out a few people. And with that, held off the cap progress for another bit. Let's now see their reactive force with Brat Nico. With his machine gun, who's waiting. Here, King. Taking out two. Counter pushing. He sees the OPs. But he is in a crossfire. Gets his ass saved somehow from the back by Yuki. But not before he could take out the OPs. But Nico a little too slow in his reaction. In defending the OPs, which could create some extra pressure right now as we have some supplies coming in for another garrison. Now let's see Cemetery. We have Kelt. That's attacking with his squad at the moment. Not too much more. It has enough people there to react and defend this. So that's not a problem at the moment. So we have another airplane coming in. May this be the clutch bomber they need to start their offense, to kickstart their offense into the cemetery. Let's see what we will get. Tiger exploded up there with... okay. Well, we have another tank. Other tanks coming up to the offense from Hated. They're clearly putting the pressure there. As they currently manage to keep the point. As we have Maxim doing the strategy of just keeping some people locked in the back by lying in a bush. I like this idea from Colt. It's an interesting one to me. Would be nice if a squad lead would do it though. To create some extra pressure after a while. Not too dirty though. But nice. I would like that. And there we have a bomber for the offense. Ooh, Maxime. A bomber successfully taking out the only attacker you had. Great job. And with that, Hated has some room to breathe in the back. Let's see up front how Sachse von Gehalt will deal with the tank there. That stands next to the dead tiger. And he will give it one into the side and it will get completely blasted away by the 76 heavy tank as he's facing a Panzer IV frontally. Siege seeing the Panzer IV, reacting. Panzer IV not retreating in time, being destroyed by Siege with a double kill. Yeah. And with that we see a lot of destroyed vehicles. We have the heavy tank still coming in the back with AP as a squad lead. That somehow is damaged and being repaired. I wonder what connected to him there back there. And we have cap progress. Cliff managed to get into the hard cap. And we have another time where Colt needs to react, but we will have also a quick look towards Cemetery, where we have the main force of Colt a little further away from the hard cap. So Hated can easily defend currently, so we will keep our eyes at Rousseau, where we have a huge force inside the cap point of the infantry. We have the tanks that will meet soon for sure. We will keep both in our eyes currently and see what we can do with that. Now the infantry of Colt doesn't seem to have enough spawn points or big enough spawns to manage to reach the hard cap. And with that we might have a GG in our hands with another tank driving in. Now this tank inside the hard cap could rescue it all if it reaches it fast enough. Let's find out. We have a truck wildly flailing inside. And can the tank do it? The tank really needs to get in there for Banjo Bow. Gives it some extra explosives. No, he put it on the ground. Unlucky! That's why you don't stand behind the tank to satchel it. But there we have it, a GG for Hated. We will have a quick look at the stats. As top killers we still have Xak, then we have Dipsy, then we have Alexei, then we have Metos, then we have Kenex. Then we have Jax, Roland, and Shadow from Colt, and Fake with 42, Eichenbauer with 40, and Zuckershock with 40. For 1 hour game. Not too huge of a kill amount, but I think with Xak we are in the upper area of kills that you can manage in this time. Except your crazy crackhead that's only playing Hell Let Loose. GG to both teams. It was an honor to stream it. It was very interesting. And I hope you viewers enjoyed the stream a lot. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the abonnement, Palmy. I appreciate it. And yeah. We saw some nice plays from the tanks. With Siege and Cosmo, but mainly Siege doing amazing work from WH. We saw some great individual plays. On both sides, we saw some interesting tactics with people. Let's have a small look into the strat sketch, but not too long. We will start the raid soon, so keep on. And go send dear greetings to the next streamer that we will raid. You can also put in some ideas, but I think we will find one that I will see. Yeah, I think mainly Hated, just handled the pressure better. They were quicker in reacting and more they were always there when they needed to be in the defense, even though Colt put a lot of pressure on them. Like a lot of it. Especially around Cemetery we had some people sneaking in, huge offenses that had to be dealt with. I was rather tight around this point a few times. Just with Hated and their tanks pulling in the right time to take out the mass of cult members inside the point. So good interactive team play by HTD. Yeah, I think with that they managed to slowly move forward, even though sometimes their tanks were in this match outtraded by single tank, which was tough to see. Normally the hated tanks are rather strong. Yeah, it was an interesting match. Thank you again very much for letting me stream it. And now we will raid to the next thing. Leave a follow. The match will be uploaded on YouTube soon if you want to look at it again. And thank you very much for watching. Bye bye. Send greetings to the next streamer.